Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My beautiful moments. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
A charity of just 50 rupees, and a man's entire life changed in a moment. You might be wondering, we also give 50 rupees, so what was different this time? What was so special about his 50 rupees? And what huge mercy did Allah hide inside that tiny act of kindness? Let us see how those 50 rupees turned into a miracle. Sometimes Allah removes a disaster so big through a small act of charity that we cannot even imagine it. And sometimes the thing we ignore or consider too small becomes the very thing that saves our life. Today's story is exactly like that, a story that will touch your heart and make you understand the real power of Sadqa. In a simple neighborhood of Karachi lived Mohsin, a quiet 32-year-old man with his wife Hina and their little daughter Liba. Mohsin's life was simple office home and the sound of his daughter's laughter, but one day everything changed. Mohsin first felt only slight fatigue. Then it became routine. He returned from work breathless, and lying down caused chest burning and sharp pain. Hina insisted Mohsin please see a doctor, but he always smiled it away, saying it is just stress, nothing serious. Until one evening, the moment they would never forget, while having tea, Mohsin suddenly felt dizzy. The cup slipped from his hand, and he collapsed to the floor. When he opened his eyes, he was lying on a hospital bed. The doctor stood with a serious expression and said, "Your tests are concerning. We suspect a heart dysfunction. We will know more when the reports arrive tomorrow. Please be prepared." Those words echoed painfully in Mohsin's ears. Little Liba stood quietly by the bed, confused and scared. Mohsin's heart broke as he thought, "Ya Allah, what will happen to my daughter?" He could not sleep that entire night. The next morning Mohsin was discharged. On the way home, the rickshaw driver said, "Sir, can you pay a little extra? My daughter is sick. I am struggling for her medicine." Mohsin checked his pocket. He had only 50 rupees left. He needed that money for his test reports, but something inside his heart softened. Without thinking, he gave the 50 rupees to the driver's sick daughter and decided to walk home. "Allah will make a way," he whispered. The next morning the hospital called, saying, "Your report has arrived. Please come urgently." Mohsin and Hina rushed there trembling. The receptionist handed him a brown envelope and said, "The doctor is not here." He said, "The report looks abnormal. He will explain later." Hina turned pale, and Mohsin felt his throat tighten. Anyone else would have opened the envelope, but his hands were shaking. He held the envelope, but did not open it. He saw the old saintly beggar near the master. The man asked, "Son, can you give something?" Mohsin had nothing except the envelope. In fear, he handed it to the old man, saying, "Please read it for me. I am scared." The old man opened it and studied it carefully. His face first showed surprise, then a soft smile. He said, "Son, this report does not belong to you." Mohsin froze, saying, "What? Of course, it is mine." The old man explained, "The name is Mohsin, yes, but the father's name, age, and ID belong to someone else." Just then a nurse rushed out, saying, "Sir, we made a huge mistake. Another patient's report was placed in your envelope yesterday. Your real report is here. Please come inside." Mohsin and Hina ran in. The doctor opened the real report and said, "Mr. Mohsin, you are perfectly fine. There is no heart issue. You are only suffering from stress and severe acidity." Hina burst into tears, and Mohsin's eyes filled. He whispered, "Ya Allah, was this because of that 50 rupee charity?" The doctor added, "You are very lucky. The other patient, the one whose report you got, has only a few days left." Mohsin felt a chill run through him. If he had opened that wrong report, the fear alone could have damaged his real heart, but Allah did not let him even see it. He was told the truth only when his heart could bear it. That night Mohsin prayed with tears, saying, "Ya Allah, I gave only 50 rupees. I never imagined you would remove such a huge disaster from my life." When he reached home later, the rickshaw driver was standing at his door. He said, "Sir, Allah accepted your charity. My daughter is much better now." The doctor himself was shocked. Today Mohsin's eyes filled again. Sometimes the smallest charity protects us from the biggest calamities. Allah pours mercy upon those who show mercy to His creation. A little kindness can rewrite an entire destiny.